Hello, this is Vance. Today I'm here with my trusty Toyota Corolla for an oil change. Another pretty straightforward project, but I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is pop the hood and we'll take a look at how to check the oil, and then we'll talk about how to change it. Okay, so I got the hood up on the car, and the oil dipstick for this car is right here. It's got a yellow handle. I'm just going to pull it up, have a clean paper towel or a rag of some sort, and first thing you want to do is wipe all the oil off of it, get it nice and clean, reinsert, push all the way down, pull it back out, and do not wipe it, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like. So in this car there's two little dots, and the oil level is good if it's in between the two dots, which it is. So oil level's good, but we're going to change it because I've been over the mileage for the next oil change. Okay, what I've done just to give better access is I've slid my floor jack under there and raised up one end of the front of the car and just stuck a jack stand right next to it for safety. This just gives you more room underneath, so you can get to the drain plug and everything better. We're going to take out this. This is the cap where you put in the oil. If you take that out, it drains better. And then I'll show you the drain plug underneath here. I don't actually have a drain plug. This is a drain valve right here. I put that in place of the drain plug several years ago. So this is just an easier way to drain it. This thing is nothing but a little drain valve, and you just rotate a little handle and it drains there. The light back on there. It's actually, those things are pretty cool. That way you never have to take the drain plug out and drop it and lose it. And that's a nice little brass plug with a ball valve built into it. It's made specifically for this. So we're just going to let that drain for a few minutes. Okay, so here on the table I got the parts we're going to use. This is an oil filter. It's a Toyota brand oil filter, which is what I'd recommend if you have a Toyota or Lexus. You can get these online really cheap. I got it from Amazon. I'm also going to be changing the air filter today. So this is the air filter I got. That's a pretty easy thing to do. You don't do it every time you change your oil, but every couple of times. I looked on my maintenance record, and it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm putting an air filter in too. So let me show you that while we're letting the oil drain. Okay, this is where the air filter is located. It's inside this housing. There's just a couple of clips that you just pop loose. This is very easy to do. Once you pop those two clips loose, you can lift this up. And inside here is the air filter element. So, see, that was pretty simple. You can tell the air flows in the bottom. That's where it's caught a leaf right there, and then it flows in through the bottom, and it flows into the engine here. Okay, up inside there's always some leaves and dirt and stuff, so whenever I replace the oil filter, I always get in there with the shop vac and clean it up a little bit. And then our nice new filter will go right up in here just like the old one. Once the oil stops flowing, there's just a handle right here that you rotate back over, and that closes that little valve. I would say on these little valves it's best to have your engine warm and the oil warm, because the opening is pretty small and it drains a lot better. Okay, the oil filter here, this is the oil filter. This is from underneath the car. It is right next to the oil pan, and all I'm going to do, break this thing loose, is use a pair of of big channel locks. So you just get a pair of big channel locks on it, and you rotate it a couple of turns. You can do it the rest of the way by hand. Okay, on the oil filter, something I always do. It's probably old school because it's probably not necessary anymore, but because these actually come with a little plastic sleeve on there, and this little O-ring is got some lubricant on it already. So what I always do is take a little bit of fresh oil, put it on the O-ring, and then I put it on the threads in there too. So the threads will spin on nice and easy. So here's the new oil filter. I'm going to put this thing in. I took the other one out. Again, I broke it loose with the channel locks, took it the rest of the way off by hand. Oil goes everywhere. There's not much you can do about it in this car, unfortunately. You just have your pan sitting there, and then you wash your hands afterwards. I'll tell you while I'm pouring this oil in, of course, before you want to do this, you want to lower the car back down. So I dropped the jack back down, removed the jack stand, and so the car's back sitting on its wheels, because when you check the oil, you want the car to be level. So I've changed the oil in this car a lot of times, so I know about how much it takes. I think it takes about 5 quarts. But before I pour it all in there, I'm just going to check it again. Check it a few times, add, check, because you don't want to put too much in. Okay, I've added the oil. I put a little less than 5 quarts in. We're just going to check it now. It's a lot more difficult to tell when you've got a fresh oil in there because it's not dark, but you can see the wetted area is just over the top mark, so it has just right at the max amount of oil in it right now. Okay, this is an important step. You get in the car and turn the key on just to turn the accessory lights on, like this, and you find the oil light, which in this car the oil light is right here. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to start it. We're going to look at the oil light, and we want to make sure the oil light goes off in the first couple of seconds after the car's running. Okay, and it did. That's a good sign. Okay, we let the car run for just a few seconds. That pumped the oil through the engine a little bit, and so we're going to check it again now. Okay, it's good. I'm just going to show you this. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but it's actually down below the upper limit mark now. And that is because when we initially put it in there, it wasn't all pumped through the oil filter, so the oil filter was empty. So when we ran the engine for a second, the oil pump was working and it pumped it through the oil filter. It's always important to check it after you've started the car a little bit to make sure there's enough once the oil's been pumped through the whole system. Okay, the last step in the process is to transfer the waste oil, and this is necessary so you can take it and drop it off to be recycled. So all I'm going to do is reuse an old container of oil, pour it in using the funnel. Okay, so got the old oil in the in another jug. That way I can take it back and dump it. I always put a W on the outside. The W is for waste, not Willis. That way I know I put it back on my shelf, and then when I collect a few of these, I take them down to O'Reilly Auto Parts and pour it out. Okay, I'm going to show you now how to reset the maintenance required light. So in the Toyota, this light comes on to tell you that it's time for an oil change. So all you do to reset it, turn the key off, push down the odometer reset and hold it, turn the key on, wait a few seconds, and that light goes out.